Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Here in this video, we're going to talk about everything you need to know about AMC stock. Here today, it looks like AMC is bottoming out, potentially looking to make maybe a slight upside rally. We'll have to see here, but definitely seeing some encouraging things here on the day today, including the RSI seeing a little bit of a thrust from yesterday and really over the last 2 days or so, showing some pretty good relative strength. A couple other things that I do want to point out for you guys as well, including the inflows to the IWM that we have seen recently, which really suggests to me we could see a lot more of those to come, a lot more dollar hollers coming into small and mid cap stocks. So we're going to get into all of that at the end of this video. I'm going to go over a couple different stocks that I really like for 2024. I think these are stocks you definitely should keep on your radar, especially if you're someone that's kind of sick of waiting around to see what AMC is going to do next. The stock falls, the stock goes up, the stock hits a new multi-year low, right? If you're sick of just waiting on the sidelines, these are some stocks that should perform very well in 2024, and I think have a big upside move to come, like double, triple ups for some of these names just in 2024 alone, fundamentally, like justifiably. So we're going to get into all of this and much more here in this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. So first things first, stocks today really are doing well. Couple different reasons for this. Number one, as we went over in the last video, it looks like holiday spending is going to be very, very strong. It looks like people are spending about 31% more than what they spent last year, now to $1,300 per person. That is a lot of money. And seriously, if you guys can't afford to buy Christmas gifts or can't afford to maybe spend that much, I'm not personally as well. Like don't feel bad about that. I really despise Christmas for that fact. That's why my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, because you just spend time with family. I think that's what it's all about. So don't forget to instill that in your kids and your family as well. That really it's just about spending time with family, because I mean the most valuable things in life you can't buy. So forget that Xbox or PlayStation 5 or whatnot. Really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Now, another reason why markets are doing a little bit better today is a continued drop in 10-year Treasury yields. 10-year Treasury yields down to 3.91%. You're down about 4 basis points today. So that is great news. You are seeing stocks getting a boost from that as well. Now, honestly, I was expecting some form of kind of sideways trading action this week. I really was expecting a cool down to some of this rally, but the Russell 2000 just doesn't want to let that happen. The Russell 2000 is up about 1.5% today. The Dow, S&P, and the NASDAQ up about a little bit less than 0.5% a piece. So everything is kind of doing well today, which is pretty interesting. We do have FedEx that reports here in just a few after the bell today. What they say, what their guidance is, and what they report is going to be very important. So definitely something to be watching for. I did put out a trade today. If you guys want to see that, check out that link down below in the description of this video. It's really one of those high risk, high reward kind of trades. When it comes down to it, you're either going to lose your $200 or you're going to make $25K, right? It's one of those trades. Now, TLT is up 0.62% here on the day today. That is great. You want to see TLT go as high as possible. Looks like TLT might actually make a break to the upside. If we can break above about $99, which is where we are right now, then you run into the 100 plus. Yeah, that's where things can get pretty exciting for your small and mid cap stocks. USO is up 1.20% today. The dollar, let's go ahead and refresh this. The dollar's down about 0.5% today. That is also great news. Gold is up about 1%, which I find very interesting. Kind of, one of those weird ones where you don't want to see gold doing well. because that signals maybe there is a problem going on under the surface. Now, something I want to point out, the reason I'm a little bit cautious right now, at least in the very near term, on your indexes is because they are very overbought. On the RSI for the Russell 2000, the IWM, you are at 77.25. So anything over 70 is very overbought. Now, it's justifiable why you're overbought right now, right? We're pricing in 6 rate cuts for 2024. And it looks like the Fed and some Fed officials are confirming that, like Fed Mary Daly last night. She said we might need to cut rates just to keep, to not be overly restrictive on the economy in 2024. If inflation falls further, she said we might cut rates more. So it's justifiable why we are overbought the way we are, why stocks are ripping the way that they are, but just down to a pure technical analysis, right? Especially on the SPY and the QQQ, you're stretched fundamentally for one. And the SPY and the QQQ are higher on the RSI than even the Russell. If you look at the SPY, you are at an RSI of 81. This is the highest you have seen since back here in August of 2020. Then what happened? You came down, you reset on the RSI, and then you continued to march higher. I think something similar could happen here, where stocks trade sideways for a bit, even down maybe, 3-4%, and then you kind of make your way to larger upside, price action movements following that. If you look at the triple Qs, same thing here. Triple Q's not as overbought on the RSI, but still a new all-time high here today, a new all-time high for the SPY as well as the Dow also. The RSI and the triple Q's, NASDAQ 100, this is the ETF for it, is at about 79 also. So IWM is the least overbought out of all of these, so that's where I would feel a little bit more comfortable in a trade right now, just with the cyclicality of interest rate sensitive names as well. The Russell 2000 makes a lot of sense to me, but in the very near term, like this week, near term, you want to be a little bit careful about going all in on some bigger trades right now, just because I do expect some form of sideways trading. And if we don't get that, well, we don't get that. But I find it very hard to believe that we just continue to go higher as the RSI is massively overbought on all of these major indexes. Is it possible? Sure. Is it probable? Probably not. AMC stock at the time of recording this video is up 0.58%. Now, coming tomorrow, we will get some economic data as well. Tomorrow is going to be Wednesday, so let's go ahead and look. You do have the inflation rate for the UK coming out overnight tonight. Unless we get some big move up or down, higher or lower, it's probably not going to do much. At 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, we will get CB consumer confidence for December. You're expecting about 104. Last month was 102. I am not sure how much that will move the markets. If anything, that could be a good thing. Existing home sales month over month and year over year. Expecting those numbers to come out tomorrow as well. Lots of oil data. And then a 20-year bond auction. This 20-year bond auction comes out at 1 p.m. Last we knew, the last 20-year bond auction was 4.78%. So if you do get a lower yield here, which I'm expecting we will get, probably a substantially lower yield here, then that could be very bullish for some of your small and mid cap stocks as well. So definitely go ahead and keep that in mind. Now, and then Thursday, you're going to get your GDP growth rate, quarter final numbers for Q3 that will be very, very important. And then tomorrow, the inflation rate from Japan, that surprisingly does have big implications for our markets also. So some big catalysts throughout the rest of this week. Friday is going to be your big day when you will get core PCE, durable goods orders, personal income, and personal spending, in which all come out on Friday. Let's now get into all of your specific AMC data and then get into the stocks that I really like for 2024. Now, AMC's Ortex data. Let's take a look at the option activity here. First things first, go ahead and give this a bit of a refresher. And you don't have any option specific data today. We're not getting any individual trades coming through from hedge funds and institutions. There are some, but Ortex is, for whatever reason, just not aggregating this data here today. You do have volume to the call side of about 74%, volume to the put side of 26%. So looks like some strong numbers here just overall for the bulls. Looks like the bulls are probably winning this fight today. Just even looking at AMC stock, you're up about 1%, so that's great as well. Better than being down, I will say that. As a definitive. Now, you do have a short interest offer flow at 8.59%, $143.25 million worth of short positions currently in AMC stock. Days to cover 1.05, 21.25 million shares that are currently sold short. Give this a second. I always click off of this for whatever reason. Let's see. Okay, so 10.66 million shares that are currently out on loan that have not been sold short yet. Cost to borrow 1.16%, 22.34% utilization, 49.81 out of 100 for your short score. So not the most impressive numbers here, keep that in mind, but I think these numbers are not accurate at all. I think these numbers are false, to say the least. Taking a look at the Stocko Tracker data, you do have 11,453 calls currently in the money, 83,364 calls that are out the money. In the money puts at 16,443, out the money puts at 33,867. So, definitely a lot of activity to the call side relative to the put side. Doesn't mean AMC stock has to go higher, but if it does, well, the option activity on the call side definitely going to help things out quite a bit. Now let's get into a couple names that I really like for 2024. I like these stocks now at the price in which they are currently at. I might be up on some of these stocks, I might be down on some of these stocks, but I like them right now and feel comfortable buying them right now. Number one is FUBO. FUBO TV is $3.49 per share. Here's my personal position in FUBO, about $8,200, up 44.21%, about $2,500. Do own 2,350 shares, 18% of my portfolio. Average cost of $2.42. See, I'm only up like $1 per share on this. I think FUBO can rally a lot in 2024, right? Just fundamentally speaking, the stock has been doing great over the last 2 years, and you're getting to a place of almost hitting profitability. Lots of reasons to own FUBO, but that's one of them. The business has done well in this high interest rate environment. I see no signs of FUBO slowing down. If anything, FUBO is becoming really a household name, right? Even if you don't have FUBO services, if you go ask people, like, what is FUBO? A lot of people are going to know what FUBO is. Most people are going to know what FUBO is. Right? Or at least have heard of FUBO. That's important. Like, fun fact, in case you guys don't know, the reason McDonald's advertises so much, or, Disney or whatever else, whatever company you're thinking of that advertise a lot, it's not because they expect you to run out and go buy McDonald's. No, it's because psychologically, if you hear, a company on advertisements like McDonald's, when you're thinking about where you're going to eat, McDonald's is going to be in your brain because you've heard of it. You've heard an ad about it over and over again many times throughout your life. FUBO is to that point as well, that if you're thinking about sports or streaming, you think of FUBO as well. Now, not everyone, maybe it's just me because they sponsor the UFC and I watch quite a bit of that, or just other different things, different TV ads, different sponsorships they are a part of. I think of FUBO when I think of sports or streaming or other things like that. And I think FUBO's getting to that point as well. It's taken a lot of advertising dollars to get there, but that is a benefit that it has dividends for years. So I think FUBO has a long runway of growth ahead. Now, the next stock that I really like for 2024 as well is SoFi Technologies. SoFi is up about 1% today. I currently have about $6,800 in this name, currently down about 21.5%, 15% of my portfolio, average cost of $12.43 with 700 shares in the portfolio. Snapchat's another one as well. Snapchat has went up quite a bit recently. Snapchat's actually down a little bit today, down about 0.5%. A lot of what you've seen with Snapchat recently is just upgrades from banks and different firms. So a lot of firms and banks are starting to flip on Snapchat, becoming a little bit more constructive. I'm up about 80% on Snapchat, as I've recently bought quite a bit at $9.42. Current market value of $3,400, 7.44% of the portfolio. I wish this one, would have been a larger name, or a larger position, but I do think Snapchat, even at $17 per share, is still a really good buy for 2024. Another stock that I really like for 2024, I think this is probably one of the least risky stocks here on this list for sure, is PayPal. Why? Because PayPal is really bottom barrel. Over the last 12 months, the price to earnings ratio is 18.30. That's for the trailing 12 months. The forward 12 months, looking at 12 months ahead, the PE is like 10. Okay, that is extremely low when the forward 12-month PE for the SPY, for the S&P, is almost 20, right? PayPal is dramatically undervalued. And I think at some point in 2024, a lot of firms, a lot of banks, a lot of Wall Street banks are going to change their minds on PayPal and become a lot more constructive and say PayPal might be a good buy. PayPal has a new CEO in place as well. So something, that should also be good, hopefully, for PayPal investors. Now, in this one, I'm down about 34%. Average cost of $96.76. I liked it at $96. I like it even more at $63. Currently, I have about $6,600 in a position in PayPal. 105 shares, totaling 14.51% of the portfolio. So if you guys can't tell, if I like a name, I'm willing to put a lot of my portfolio value behind it. And I feel very confident with these names. One that I started buying a little bit more recently, hoping for a bigger pullback to be able to get, more for cheaper. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's CRISPR. CRISPR has recently just gotten approval to treat patients for sickle cell. This is a one-time treatment that costs $2 million for this treatment. That sounds like a lot, but the competition is around $3 million. So they're actually undercutting the competition. This is for sickle cell disease. They're going to cure this in one treatment, 94% of the time, that is. You do have 32,000 eligible patients in the US and in Europe that could take advantage of this. It just got approval, I believe it was last week, a couple of days ago. It's called Casgevy, and by 2028, Wall Street is anticipating sales in the ballpark of $1.2 billion annually. Now, I get it. That's really not a crazy number relative to the market cap. CRISPR's market cap is like $5 billion or so, 5.19 billion. That is a decent amount, relative to its market cap. But just getting approval for the first time ever in something that is, revolutionary, groundbreaking. This article says CRISPR Therapeutics just made history, but the stock fell. This opens the door for potentially many other treatments using the CRISPR technology. That's why I want to be in this name. I think CRISPR could easily be a multi-$100 billion company in the future. The stock's trading at $5 billion for your market cap. Some rough math here. If the stock could 20x and would be at $100 billion, the stock could 40x and be at $200 billion. The stock could 60x and be at $300 billion. That's quite a gain. Even $600 in the stock currently, because I only have 10 shares, times 60x. That's $36,000. If it takes 10 years, who cares? That is a fat return. So that's an exciting name, but who knows ultimately what's going to happen there. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Might actually just buy some more CRISPR, actually going over these numbers and looking at that valuation. It looks pretty attractive. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about these stocks, where you are positioning your portfolios for 2024. Obviously, you don't have to. You can be all in AMC. That's fine. I just want to provide a little bit of insight on maybe where some good opportunities might lie. So thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.